YouTube, what is going on? Welcome back. I'm here to bring you guys another beat breakdown video. Third time's a charm because I decided it might be a good idea to down some pre-workout before I recorded the last couple videos, which did not work at all. 0 out of 10, do not recommend. Very, very bad idea. About anything else, let's get right into this beat. So if you peep the title of this video, you'll see that this is a black inspired beat. I made it to be like one of those vibey, wavy beats that he gets on and just raps on. First thing I did was I dropped the BPM down to 110. I went to the Flex VST in FL Studio. This is a stock plugin. It's actually really dope. I think it might be slept on just a little bit, but they have this one preset bank called Essential Guitars, and they have a whole bunch of nice guitar sounds. One of my favorite ones I like to use is the Ace Nylon Light guitar. And this is the melody that I came up with. Very simple, nothing too crazy, but you got the job done. Now, after I laid down this melody, this pattern right here, I went ahead and started adding some effects. I added an EQ, rolled out some of the low end and dipped some of the mid, added a reverb, slightly increased the wet, slightly increased the dry, and increased the size a bit. Put on RC Retro Color, went to the Vinyl 3 preset. Y'all know that's my favorite preset, and then this is what you get when you put it all together. So already that's nice and vibey, and with all the effects I have on it, it makes it sound bigger and more vibey versus just the sound alone. After I laid down that melody, I went ahead and rendered that whole melody out as a audio clip, which by doing that, all you gotta do is click Control A, which highlights everything that you have, and then I hit Control Alt C, and then they'll ask you if you want to render all this fun stuff. All you gotta do is click start instead of recording it. Then it pops up as audio clip. Then after I did all that, I reversed it, chopped it up a little bit, and pitched it up 200 cents. Usually I don't add a whole bunch of effects to melodies before I render it out, but for some reason this time I did. And this is what it came out to be without the effects on it. Oops. So without all the effects, this is what the sample comes out to be. It's still good. There's a lot of movement in there. I liked it, but it was still a little bit plain to me. But I decided to throw it back into the channel 1 mixing channel and just keep the same effects that I had on it previously. And then the only thing extra that I added to it was I added a EQ, and then I dipped out the low a little bit more, and I cut out the mids because it was just so sharp and piercing, and I wanted to take that out. So with all the effects, this is what it sounds like. So after adding all the effects, it still comes out to be a whole lot more spacey and vibey than if I just left it blank, left it completely dry. Went on down to Arcade, went to the Distant Voices bank, and this is what I came up with. Something simple, nothing too crazy, but just enough. I liked it because it's definitely still fitting in that vibey and spacey feeling. And then after I threw that down, and I do what I always do with all my vocals. I like to put it in the background of the beat, so it's not in the forefront. I just lowered the volume right here, and for the effects, I added an EQ, rolled out the low end, took out a bit of a high end, added a reverb, slightly changed it, increased the size and the wet and dry, and then also added a Fruity Delay 3, just lowered the wet just so it wouldn't keep echoing throughout the whole beat completely. And all together, this is what it sounds like. Next thing I did, I just dropped in this drum loop just so I could get a good idea of what I wanted to do, just so I could start something. Side note, if you are having troubles trying to think of an idea of how you want the drum pattern to be and how you want the rhythm to be, I suggest adding something like that, a perk loop, hi-hat loop, whatever. I think after hearing that, it forms a good idea in your brain of what you want to do. Like, it just sparks ideas. It works for me quite often, so it's a tip for anybody else out there who's having those issues. After I did that, I went ahead and actually started with the rest of the drums. So added the kick, simple kick pattern. After the kick pattern, I added the 808s. Nothing too crazy. For a lot of the beats that I have 808s, I don't like to put an 808 on top of every single kick. I like to leave a couple of them just bare by themselves, just to have it so the 808 isn't just knocking in your ear the whole entire time. And then also, y'all know I love my 808 glides, so I added those as well. The next thing I did was I added on 2 snares. Y'all know how I like to stack my snares. Very basic pattern. Then after that, I was good, so I just went ahead and took away the drum loop and just added my own hi-hats. And so, like I always do with all my hi-hats, I play around with the velocity for all the notes just so it's not the same velocity each one. I like the variations of it to make it a little bit more bouncy. And then the last thing I did was actually added a synth bass just so I can change up where it's the 808 or the bass. So what I did for the bass, synth bass, all I did is I rolled out the high end. So it's just the sub, bass, and a little bit of low mid. Taking out the highs, it takes away all the staticky, high pitch frequencies of the bass. So all you get is the low bass of it. It's the best way I know how to explain it. Put all that together, you get a nice beat where someone like Black can just get on and just start rapping. that's it on this one. I really like this one. Definitely something I could hear just Black just rapping on. As soon as I started putting everything together, as soon as I made the melody and reversed it and pitched it, I immediately heard his voice on. So I had to keep this one going. I had to make a video on it. That's it for this one. If you got any tips for me, go ahead and drop a comment down below. If you got anything from me, also drop a comment down below. I'd love to hear what you guys think about this whole beat in this video as a whole. And I appreciate you guys for watching. Go ahead and comment, like, subscribe. And I'll be back soon with another video. Peace.